Hi, my name is Dan York. I'm a retired Major General from the Army, and I am a Place for Moms expert military advisor on all things related to veteran benefits. I've served with the Army for 36 years. I commissioned from West Point in 1981 as an infantry officer and served with the 101st for 5 years before transitioning into 31 years with the reserves. I'm actually shocked at how few veterans and families of veterans are aware of VA pension and aid and attendance benefits. To be specific, I spoke to a 4-star classmate. That's as high as you can get in the Army as a general, and he'd never heard of them. And that's pretty common, sadly. The Veterans Administration was established in 1989 through the work of President Ronald Reagan. And he made it a cabinet-level executive department, which gave veterans direct help from the president and down. So the VA pension is a monthly benefit that veterans may receive. If a veteran is enrolled, then the money that they receive from the VA pension is deposited into their account on a monthly basis. And if they're deceased, then it goes into their dependents account. The VA pension is great for veterans because it pays for things like home care, adult daycare, board and care, assisted living, skilled nursing care, and memory care. And there are several criteria that determine whether a veteran is eligible or not. First of all, they have to be 65 or older. The second criteria that they may meet is that they have a permanent and total disability. A third is that they receive supplemental security income. The fourth is that they receive Social Security disability insurance. And then the fifth would be that they reside in a nursing home. Those would be the key things. And if they meet one of those, then they may be eligible to receive VA pension assistance. There are also service requirements. If a veteran has served for 90 days on active duty, and one of those days was during wartime conflict, then that would meet the service requirement. And then there is a financial stipulation. If a person's finances are too high, then they're just not going to be eligible. As of December 1 of 2022, until November 30 of 2023, a veteran cannot have more than $150,538. That doesn't include their car or their home or their personal items. Aid and attendance is an add-on. If a veteran qualifies for the VA pension, aid and attendance is something that they apply for, and then it's an added benefit that they receive as part of that VA pension. If you qualify for the VA pension, then you're in the running for the aid and attendance benefits. For example, my folks who are in a senior living facility in Vancouver, Washington, they needed that supplemental income in order to afford living there. Aid and attendance provided that. The clinical requirements for aid and attendance, in order to receive that, a veteran would have to meet one of the following. Their activities of daily living would necessitate help. They're bedridden on a constant basis. They have limited vision. The Veterans Administration is going to conduct their due diligence to make sure that the veteran truly qualifies for aid and attendance benefit. And that's a 3-year look-back period where they're going to make sure that assets were not sold under market value or there was any untoward activity that would change a person's worth that is not legitimate. That's what the VA is going to look at in order to determine whether a veteran is eligible to receive aid and attendance benefits. What I love about aid and attendance is the specific help that it gives to veterans. In my dad's case, he could not have afforded to live in a senior living facility, but it also helps in things like memory care, assisted living, in-home care. Let me talk for a moment about how the VA calculates what a veteran is paid. So what happens is the VA takes the maximum annual pension rate and they subtract from that your annual income, And that's what your yearly amount would be. The monthly annual pension rate is different for the VA pension than it is for aid in attendance benefits. And it's calculated on an individual basis depending on what the needs are of the veteran. I would not recommend trying to calculate an MAPR by a veteran or by their loved ones on their own. It's pretty complicated. So this is where you would get assistance from the VA in determining exactly what that amount is. It's too hard to calculate on your own. Let's say that you're a veteran or the dependent of a veteran, and you know that you need assistance. The best thing to do is to contact the Veterans Administration. And to do that, you're going to need the right documentation. So medically, your medical records, whatever is appropriate that the VA asks for. Typically, they'll ask for a DD-214, which is your military record. But you'll need to have that paperwork together, go to the VA with that, and then they will help calculate what you're eligible for. The best part of helping our veterans receive these benefits is the joy that comes from knowing that this is a game changer for them financially and also just emotionally and psychologically. It's just wonderful that they're able to get a benefit that makes a difference in their loved ones' lives. For more information and advice on caregiving, senior care, costs, and more, subscribe and visit our library of resources at aplaceformom.com/caregiver resources.